There was never a time we didn't want to do election. Election became less cumbersome because it is now biometric. They have brought their bill for our election for the 2022-2023 academic session. Interested in SUG governance, and we discovered that either by DSS scrutiny or by any means that you are connected to a politician and you're collecting any form of, you're no longer independent, and therefore the 2016 constitution will not allow you to stand for that election. So we noticed that this election year, a lot of our students were involved. So the pressure was the PDP will come, labor, of course, you know the labor movement. You know that it destabilized politics. The political space was skewed because of Labour Party. This thing, I want election. The VC does not want to interfere with students' unionism. In fact, this VC deproscribed a proscribed student union when it was DVC. But there was a vice chancellor who proscribed student unionism because, you know, students in their nature, they have their own way of expressing themselves. But that VC didn't seem to understand it. And then he prescribed it. There was this guy, he was a former local government chairman, former commissioner. He was a president of student union, Peter Andy, honorable. He just finished as commissioner for transport in Enugu State. Do you know his result was seized? Because he played active politics and got involved. It was this VC now that released his certificate after 13 years. Can you clap again for the vice chancellor? He was certificate-less. Now the VC has returned this. So what am I saying? There was never a time we didn't want to do election. Election became less cumbersome because it is now biometric and fully biometric. This file is containing this is the company that mounts our Google software, Google platform. Are you following what they call because it's in the clouds? They have brought their bill for our election for the 2022-2023 academic session. So put together, we couldn't do election because time was not there for us, and we couldn't. If you remember, we couldn't do orientation. How would you do orientation when a student is in the class taking lecture and writing CA at the same time? It wasn't easy. If I have my way, I would do party, 1 week party for students. I had my way because you've really been stressed. I follow. Your generation cannot take stress, by the truth. So even that's why you see, once exam comes, you should go to medical center. A lot of people are taking drip with B complex. Some are singing, going gaga. So at the end of the day, we didn't have any time to do the election. And by April, some miscreants now called all the potential contestants. Students could be political. They are stronger than PDP and Labour Party here, I'm telling you. And told them that the university does not want to do election for you. You have to go and riot and demonstrate. So we got wind of that. I had intelligence, and we called him for a meeting and explained this thing I'm explaining now. That day they fought themselves down there. They now say you were lying to us. The man that was calling them, the boy that was calling them from Benue State ran away. He didn't come for the meeting. But they would have beaten him. At the end, we continued. You came and completed the 2021-2022 session just August. The last exam was written August 17th. Am I correct?
Yes.
And the new session started August 28th. And the Constitution says you must do election within the first 6 weeks of the new session. Now, all this challenge threw up some troubles because all these political juggernauts in the university students who started from first year to demonstrate interest in occupying one post or the other, they said they've been spending money. And I asked them, why are you spending money? Student election, you must be mischievous. But I tell you, they spend a lot of money. The girls sometimes are harassed. Somebody will say, I'm a stakeholder. You must see me before you win election. Please, I'm advising you, do your politicking through the normal channel. So, yesterday I had to call another meeting. DSS was here, police was here, everybody was here. And we looked at it because VC has approved our timetable for election. I follow him. And I can tell you that our election will take place between September 12th, every process to October 17th. That's what we've planned to do. Registration of voters will commence very soon. And then they will mount the software and they will register students, and then the process will go on. Remember again that those who had interest to vie and they've entered final year because of all this snag, they are now not going to be qualified to stand election because the constitution is clear that first years and final years do not stand a chance of being elected into any office for obvious reasons. I follow him. So yesterday, it was officially conveyed to them that final years cannot do what? Stand election. And so those ones who were thinking the week will prosper, the Elijah Ekoma, the Samsis, and all the rest that have been painting our campus with their names, they are no longer qualified to stand because they're in final year. So, it's painful because when you have aspiration to lead people and natural disaster denies you that opportunity, you won't feel happy. Am I correct? You won't feel happy. But they have to understand there are other ways to serve. So we never wanted to stop elections. And we never intended to keep any government in office beyond the normal sessional tenure. So, but nobody can, I follow him. Nobody can change the fact that there must be rainy season and there must be dry season. I follow him. Have I explained it clearly? And do you believe what I've explained? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. On a lighter note, which is my last question. We know that the negative information and rumors spread faster than the positive. And from what we've heard so far, we know that it's clear that the school is actually doing a lot of things that we don't know about.
So much.
So can you let us know some of these things, some innovations and impacts this the current school authority, the current people in office have made so far?
Okay, thank you very much. I will speak from my the perspective of the father and the dean of students. So I am well positioned to know, I'm privileged to know a lot about what administration is doing, because the most critical segment of a university community is the student community. Because without the students, there is no university, there is no institution. I follow him. I wonder what will happen when you decide to go on strike. I wonder what will happen. So, like I earlier observed or mentioned, this current administration is very phenomenal in their policy and achievements. Let me also emphatically remind you that this is the first time an alumnus of this university is becoming a vice chancellor. And what does that mean? An alumnus who trained here, passed through here, he was literally born here, this current VC. So he knows everything about this university. He knows every single person here. He's from Anambra, from Musoka. He appointed me dean of students and has maintained my appointment for the third time. That should send a message to you that he knows people. I follow him. So he has achieved a lot, and he's the 15th vice chancellor. And if you remember, his government came at a time when the whole world was financially challenged and complicated by COVID-19 pandemic. And so fund became scarce. The interest of federal government for funding of education became literally zero. and not existing. So school, universities depended mostly on IGR. Business community wasn't becoming flamboyant as it used to be. So even your philanthropists that usually come to donate money, they were not easy to come by. And that's why we thank God for the man building a hostel, Viagem Property and Investment Limited. He has done a lot for the school. So this administration, as difficult as the times might appear, have achieved a lot. I'll begin with improved digitization of our processes. Let me start with that one. He's a student-friendly vice chancellor. This is a student-friendly administration. He wants to reduce your stress of doing things mechanically. Before, to register for courses in this university, I'm also a true alumnus. I have my 3 degrees from this institution, just like him. First degree, second degree, PhD, and other fellowships. So, digitization of our processes has really improved. Even with your so-called server busy, a lot is happening in our information space. We are now making a lot of processes online. You can agree with me. Before in this office, by now, if you come here, the crowd you're seeing that you may think you have crowd is a child's play. Because every person that's gotten hostel will come here to do manual documentation. They give you a form, you attach your physical passport that they will never use. Are you following? And you will feel, and young girls will be falling on top of one another. And so students, once you get hostel now, you can fill out your biodata online. Am I correct? You no longer come here. I removed all the file cabinets that they put files that nobody will ever look at. Now, that's one achievement. Second achievement is that there are a lot of structural infrastructural development. If you move around campus, roads are reconstructed, new buildings are coming up, faculties that never had structures are having them. Give you agric is just there. If you're walking towards VET, you see the beautiful building that you like to go and take photograph in this one. Is this man that did it? The hostel you're seeing there, the BOT I've mentioned. For the first time, this university doesn't have a Senate building. So when senators meet, they go to, it used to be Niger Hall in CEC there, and now in PAA. Professors, those who taught me, will come and sit in a chair inside. But in other universities, we have Senate building. Today, the Vice Chancellor has gotten approval to construct one of the best Senate buildings, if not in Africa, in the entire country. It's worth, in his initial cost, 5 billion. I follow him. He has gotten that. They're just doing the normal. I think they're in the process of advertising now. That fund has given approval to build it. So it's an achievement. There are a lot. There is this compilation that I have close to 200 projects in this university that have taken place. A lot of things have happened. It's an achievement. Our global ranking is improving under his watch, and both academic ranking and other things. Our agricultural, because I told that this university is a land grant university, meaning we should be agricultural driven. For under his watch, we now have University of Nigeria agro and allied product business. So you now see students doing practical agriculture. It never happened. And I think because he's a soil scientist, he made sure that you can't be a professor of agric and will not produce common corn. Today you are seeing cucumber, you're seeing watermelon, cultivated in our soil, in UNN. Are you not seeing them? Are you not seeing them? At least let's start with the ones we can do before we go to the advanced ones. So I won't be able to enumerate all the projects that have succeeded under him. But being very close to him and this administration, I can tell you that a lot have been done. And more are still, before he leaves office next year, more will still happen. I follow him. And hostels were renovated, Okpara toilet end was renovated, even though the students will not use it well. Balewa was renovated. I follow him. Nkrumah was touched in 2020 when he became VC, was renovated. Showers were running up to 400 level. Those who were there will know this. Mbanefo, I mean, Enijoko and Alvan were renovated. Showers were running. But these boys, they could be terrible. Within 2 weeks, they started doing what they know how best to do. A lot of boreholes were created under his watch. So, by and large, compared with previous administration that operated when the economy was fairly better, you will agree with me that this man, I don't want to call him a magician, but he's a miracle worker. And his name is Nwachine Emere, one of the things he answers. I believe that his name also follows him, Arize Chukwu. Arize means God's favor or God's help, or whatever. But he has really been helped by God. And I also have been helped by God. Surviving this tortuous journey can only be God. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.